So, welcome everyone. Joyce Odidison here, and I'm so excited to be chatting with Lisa Hammett. Lisa is one of the speakers who's going to be at the Global Workplace Wellness Summit. And a little bit about Lisa. Lisa is an accomplished motivational and TED Talk speaker. So, she's been on TEDx and she will also be on the stage at the summit. And as a best-selling author and a certified coach, she actually focuses her work on wellness. And she speaks to many SHRM organizations and corporations across the United States. And today she's here with us, and we're going to talk, we're going to have a conversation on what we see in the world of work around well-being. And I hope that we'll share some light here on our own perspective. So join us. Lisa, welcome.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be here, and I'm so excited to be at your summit. It's coming up so quickly.
I know it is, and we're really looking forward to having you. So Lisa, as we look at, we're celebrating Thanksgiving here in Canada, and I got up and I saw the news, and there's another war happening. There's the war in Ukraine, and then there is war now between Israel and Palestine, and the nerves shot up, and the anxiety and the stress. And when I think of the work that we do in workplace wellness, I ask myself, how many employees across the globe are anxious this morning and thinking another war, something else, more conflict, more violence? And it does something to people's anxiety level and their well-being. So as you prepare to lead and teach groups, what are some thoughts that are coming through your mind?
We need to really equip people with the tools that they have, and sometimes we take them for granted, some of those tools that we have, which is really being fully present in situations and recognizing when we have those stressors and those negative emotions so that we can learn how to calm them down. I speak a lot on mental fitness, and I'm going to be sharing at the summit some great tools that people can implement in the moment. When you wake up and you hear horrible things like that on the news, or you're in the workplace and you've got so many things on your plate and you're just feeling overwhelmed and stressed. So it's learning how to combat that in the moment and just really get present and focused.
That is really a great idea, because things are always going to happen around us, whether it's external, whether it's us having an issue with our coworker, whether it's something happening with our bosses or even our clients in the workplace. It's very important for us to respond and recognize what's happening in our bodies. And I think most of us are out of tune with what's happening in our bodies, and we're not recognizing that this is actually impacting me. This is bugging me, and I need to just be present and say, wow, okay, this is happening, but this is where I have control. This is what I have control over, and I'm going to work from my sphere of influence. So I really love that you're using the tools, and that you'll be at the Global Workplace Wellness Summit November 2nd and 3rd to share some things with us. And I just wonder, what are one or two tools that the audience could look forward to?
Well, they are going to learn in a very interactive session on how they can diffuse stress, anxiety, and other negative emotions in the moment, and through a series of short micro meditations. And I don't want to completely, share everything now. I want them to kind of, anticipate it, but it's something that they can do anytime, anywhere. And that's what I love so much. So, regardless, maybe you're having a conversation with somebody and you're feeling triggered, that conversation, it's bringing on more stress. And oftentimes when we feel that way, we, stop really listening to what the other person is saying, and we're focusing on how we're going to respond. So we're able to, with these tools that I'm going to share, how to diffuse that so that we're still listening to them, but we're not just reacting, and we are then responding with clear-headed focus. And then also ways that, when we feel that stress coming on, if, we're under a deadline, how to just calm that down so that we can have that laser focus and we can maintain our productivity and our communication skills.
That is so important. And as you know, Lisa, some of the work that I've done, and one of the pieces that we've been building over the years and we're launching at the summit is the complete well-being intelligence curriculum. And there's so much talk about well-being and there's so many pieces, but there's never been a curriculum that we can put into education, we can bring into our with various disciplines, we can take into some of the training within organizations and integrate a curriculum that's built on core competencies. So it was a surprise for me to recognize that there isn't that already. And though we have lots of tools, we've never really seen as a society the value of putting together a curriculum on well-being, because we somehow have taken well-being for granted, and it's not anymore. It's not anymore.
No.
So when you think of what you do and how it aligns with, is there any one of the competencies that jumped out at you and you thought, what I do really does support this competency?
Absolutely. I love the self-mastery about how you can experience happiness and joy through that emotional intelligence. And, sometimes when we get stressed and overwhelmed, we're like, oh, we don't have time for that. We can't do that. But it's really learning how to find that joy and happiness in those small things that we often take for granted. So I love that. And these micro meditations that I talk about enable you to really experience that and understand that. And, the capacity building, that critical thinking and problem solving, when you're mentally fit, you have that laser focus, that clear-headed focus. So you can do that impactful problem solving. There's so much to it. I love all your different pieces because they are in so much alignment with what I discuss. And I'm so thrilled for what you're doing because it's so needed, so needed.
And thanks for saying that. And I love, when I looked at the speakers who approached us as wanting to be part of the summit, I know tools are important and modalities are important, but we need that streamlined process to put it all together so we have that curriculum. I mean, we've been to university, we've gone to courses, we want a curriculum. It's how we learn, and competencies are so apt to workplaces because everything we learn is based on competencies. And so we evaluate based on competencies, and the ability to put those together and share those in a package with organizations, starting from our assessment and then looking at the core competencies and the dimensions of well-being, and what you bring in, the tools, they apply to actually all the competencies. We need activities to build into them. And when you talk about self-mastery, it really reminds us that our emotions are how we experience life.
Absolutely.
Can you imagine life without without emotions? It wouldn't be the same.
No,
it wouldn't.
It wouldn't.
Yeah.
No, we'd just be like robots. We would be AI.
Exactly.
Totally. That's all. We would be the computer robots. That's it. With no emotional capacity.
Absolutely. And one of the things we talk about when we teach the competencies is that we need human skills in a time like now, especially in a time like now where AI is everywhere and we're dependent on artificial intelligence to do so much. we actually are losing our human skills, and they're so needed.
Oh, so true.
So needed.
So needed.
And so much a focus. And one of the things that the summit is looking at is how can we use these tools and strategies as another way to enhance mental health and to reduce stress. So giving those stress busters, as you're talking about, those tools to deal with the immediate stresses that we're facing, and the self-mastery to recognize when we should use them. And that's the part, right? Recognizing what we should
Absolutely.
use. I think that is going to be a great combination for the summit. And I'm so excited to have you join us in November here in Winnipeg Live. So those of you who are watching,
can't wait.
Join us. Exactly. It's going to be fabulous. We have so many exciting pieces happening, and we're really looking forward to the summit and to your presentation. Lisa, thank you so much for stepping up and saying, I want to be part of championing workplace wellness.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. I just think we're going to be doing great things. I'm so excited.
Yes, me too. So those of you watching, join us for the summit November 2nd, 22nd and 3rd, 2023. My name is Joyce Odidison, and Lisa Hammett was my guest today as we get ready for the Global Workplace Wellness Summit. We'll see you there. Bye.
Can't wait to see you. Bye-bye.